back to the channel. Uh, Today we are going to continue with our playlist on Go, and well, there's a lot to cover actually, but I thought it would be easier if we just try to solve a couple of questions. So that will keep it interesting, and hopefully you'll learn a lot more than just me talking about some random things. So I'm going to start with functions. So generally before functions, we would have covered some conditional statements like if else or loops and strings, arrays, all those topics. But I want to make this into a hands-on experience. I listed down some questions over here. We're going to try to solve all of these. And hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have learned a lot about functions, strings, arrays, looping, etc. So it might feel a bit difficult to follow, but don't worry, I'm going to make it as easy as possible. So let's get started. So the first thing that you want to do is please create a new folder. I already created one. You name it whatever you want. I have named it as functions. Over here, please go ahead, make a file main.go, package main and func main. That's all you need for now. And a Go mod file, which you can easily create by writing go mod init and the name, which is going to be functions in this case. Hit enter and mm, oh, sorry, init. And I already have this, but you should be able to create a new file. Perfect. So I'm just going to tell you the normal syntax we have functions is just func. That's the keyword you want to use while declaring a function. The name, some arguments that it might take, and it might give you some outputs. So, for example, it could be int, it could be string. If let's say it's providing multiple outputs, one is of integer type, one is of string type. It could be a single value, doesn't matter. And then you go ahead and you write your code. And well, yeah, this is your function. So we're just going to try and follow this and try to solve each individual problem. Cool. Okay, so the first question, all the questions are more or less simple. It's the only purpose of this video is try to explain and show multiple functionalities. So we need to write a function that accepts a person's age as an integer. If a person is 18 or older, return true, indicating they can enter, otherwise return false. Cool. So if you're walking into any club, you gotta be 18 or older, or of the whatever the legal age is for maybe drinking or right. So let's name this function as bouncer because that's basically what it's doing, right? So func keyword to declare the function, bouncer is the name. It's gonna take in one argument as it says person's age. It will be of integer type, an int, and it returns true, indicating they can enter. Cool. So let's say it's going to return a Boolean value, and yeah, that's it. So what do we want to do? Check right if it is less than 18, return false. If it's greater than 18, go ahead. So let's so this is how you write an if statement. If you have already worked with C++, Python, or Java, I think you might find it very straightforward. If an 8 less than 18, well, you just return false. By default, you return true, and there you go. Sorry, you need to write, and there you go. That's your first function in Go. Isn't it simple? So how do we check it out, right? So I'm just gonna take age as a variable. Let's say it is 18 exactly. Um, so you can see this function returns some Boolean value. My bad, some Boolean value. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create one more variable is adult. This will be of type, this will be of Boolean type, which will be the outcome of this function, bouncer, and it will take an age as the value. So now if um, is adult, if the person is adult, fmt dot println, please enter. Else fmt dot println, uh, please should not enter. Okay, simple enough, right? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna run it. Please enter. Perfect. What about what if it's 17? Gotta save it. Perfect. Please not enter. One more thing we can try, one more edge case. Um, if n less than 0, you can't have age less than 0. Well, in this case, just panic. Uh, age cannot be negative. So panic is something that you try to throw in when you have unexpected values. For example, you're trying to access null values, so you don't want to do that. So you can just throw an error over here. You can throw a panic or whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just going to add -2, let's say, and age cannot be negative, and well, it throws a lot of errors over here. Perfect. So this is the first function, and I hope you understood something. And well, let's move on. You'll have a better understanding once we, get on to the next other questions. So let me turn on the toggle. Perfect. So the second question is write a function that takes an integer n. If n is divisible by 3, return fizz. N divisible by 5, return buzz. If it's divisible by both 3 and 5, return FizzBuzz. Otherwise, return the number itself as a string. Okay, cool. Um, Got it. So you might have already seen this function, this question on lead code. If not, no worries, we'll just solve it right now. The function name, I'll just name it as FizzBuzz. It's going to take n int and it's going to return string. Now, the first thing that we want to check is, so if something is divisible by both 3 and 5, then it is divisible by 15, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is if n mod 15 equal 0, um, return, uh, what do you want to return? Return fizz buzz, else if, okay, you got to do add it over here, else if um, the condition if n mod 5 equal 0, return, what do you got to return? We got to return buzz. Okay, this needs to be in different form. Else, um, so this is also going to be an else if we want to check the divisibility by 3 equal 0. Copy, and this is going to be fizz, save, and the default case return n. Now if I return n, it's going to throw me an error. It's of type int, so we're going to pass it as string. I think this is how we do. Yep, perfect. So conversion from int to use a string of one row, not a string of digits. Okay, let's see what happens. Uh, you know, mm, okay, I'm just gonna comment this out. I don't want this. Let's say n. You know what? Let's just what does this return? This returns a string, right? So let's say answer equal to FizzBuzz of, let's say, 16, and fmt dot println answer should be good enough. Okay, it actually did not return anything. Let's see. Let me see how it actually works. I've actually never converted an integer to string. So, uh, So in C++, it is 80 over I, if I'm not wrong. Let's see what it is in Go. Converting int to string in Go. Let's see what it really wants. Oh, it's IT way over here. Cool. It's okay, perfect. We can just use this one. See, even I don't know everything. So str, what do you want that in? Okay, we got in. Import this. Should be good enough. N and save automatically imports. Now if we run it again, perfect. Great. So what else? Let's add 12. 12 is not divisible by 5, it's divisible by 3. So we should only see fizz over here. Let's save and run. Perfect. So you guys can try out other cases. I just wanted to try 16 because I knew it would probably give an error. So great. Let's comment this out as well. My bad. I'm gonna leave this over here. You can try it on your own. And what are we gonna do? Okay. So this is a pretty straightforward question, but why we added it, I'll tell you. Write a function that takes two numbers, numerator, denominator. If the denominator is 0, return 0 and an error. Else just return the result. Perfect. So division, and it's gonna take two things: int numerator, sorry, numerator int, and denominator, which will be again int. It's gonna return two things. First, it's gonna return an integer, and second, it's gonna return an error. Now, if denominator equals 0, what do you wanna do? You just want to return, if denominator is 0, return 0 and an error. So error is something that's inbuilt into Go. Sorry, return 0, comma. There's a library called errors. So save it and it, okay, it didn't import it right now, my bad. Errors dot, there's something called error unsupported. No, we don't want this. Errors dot new. Perfect. And it expects a string. And the string is gonna be division by 0 is not allowed. Great. Else just return, well, numerator by denominator, comma, nil. Nil basically suggests that there's no error, right? And it is this particular error that we're throwing over here. It's going to come from this package errors. You can study upon this one, quite important when you're building APIs. Uh, and let's just go ahead and call it. Uh, so what does it return? Int and error. Okay. Again, division result, comma. So either I can do this, let's say 8, comma 5, and I can do something like this if uh, error not not e sorry, if error not equal to nil, um, what did I return? I was missing the brackets. Oh my God, sorry, I completely blanked out on that one. If error not equal to nil, we'll just again just panic and add in the error over here. Else fmt dot print ln, and the division result should be good enough. And 8 by 5 is one, it's rounding up to the nearest integer because we explicitly fed integer. If I change it to float 32, not use num as float 32. Okay, then this also needs to be of type float. This as well. Okay, 1.6, and that makes sense. If I add in 0 and try to run it again, it's gonna again throw in an error stating that division by 0 is not allowed. Again, simple enough, but what it taught you is this. One of the most important libraries I think I've come across. You are going to use it a lot when you're trying to build your APIs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One other thing is instead of uh, storing it in certain variable, we can use this dash. I think I talked about this in the last video, not sure. But Go allows you to, ignore certain variables when you're trying to access certain functions. So when you're trying to access division, it provides you two things, the result as well as the error. Let's say you're not interested in error. So you can just ignore that. And in that case, well, there's no error, so you don't need it. And go ahead. Now, in this case, you just got the result 0, which is, well, not correct because you ignored the error. There was no check on that error. Please try not to ignore the errors. Okay, I'm just gonna uncomment this and